Hi, I'm Kim,
And I'm Troy.
and I am also known as Cruise Couch,
And I am known for being two lane life.
among other things. Honey on some days. We are going to tell you about what we have coming up. We're also going to tell you about things that we've done. We have a lot of experience, and I think we have some things that we could share with people that would help them.
Mostly planning your next cruise.
Yes. We're going to talk about planning right now.
Hmm.
And what we're going to show you is our book. You need a book, right?
You need to stay organized.
Yes.
Now, that's not for people to do one off cruises. Don't think it's really necessary.
Yes.
We've already done two prior cruises this year, and you can see that content on all of our social media. Two Lane Life at TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I think I already covered all
Yeah.
that, but yeah, all of the social media platforms that are out there. We both are on. Cruise Couch is also on there. That's where a majority of our videos will go. Our fuller length videos will
Yes.
go. TikTok, we just kind of put up short vids, as well as Instagram and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So our lengthy videos that we're going to do,
Will
real
be
insider stuff, will all be
on the
centered
YouTube channel
on YouTube.
under Cruise Couch. So you'll know where to look for those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have right now left on the books. We just did two, like Troy said, and we have, I believe, 12 more booked.
That's
So,
hard to stay organized when you
yes.
have that many cruises. And the reason the book had to exist and be created
Yes.
is we do a lot of research, and we do a lot of research watching videos. We have a lot of people that we follow that do really inside of videos regarding cruise ships, layouts.
Yeah.
So we go completely prepared before we get on a ship, knowing layout, room positioning, and all the important stuff, access to restaurants, access to elevators, stairwells. All of that stuff is a contributing factor when you're looking
Mm-hmm.
for booking a cruise.
So what we are trying to incorporate into some of these videos is how we came to some of this stuff, how we find it, things that we looked for, and that's what we think that other people might be looking for, and we see that there's a lacking of some of this information out there. So
Try to fill that niche and try to help support some people that may have some struggles. Deck plans. Obviously, Kim's going to cover what that is and where she finds that resource for looking at the deck plans. We kind of work in unison with each other in regards to.
yeah.
I will look at cruise options that we have, or promo codes
Yeah.
that we were given for specific cruises, and I will look through those cruises and the ships and say, what about this room?
Yeah. Yep. And I will sit literally here, and I will be manned with my iPad, and
Literally right there at your
literally
desk.
right here, literally right here. So I can throw them up on the screen, and he can take a look at it, and we can say yay or nay right away.
Right. It's
And
about positioning. It's about location.
yeah. And then you look at the finer details. Is this cabin worth what we're about to pay for it? You know, can we find it at a better price? Can we use a casino offer?
Stop talking with your hands.
I talk.
You got to stop talking with your hands.
Hard travel talks with his hands.
You know what? He's also in a full length video and he can talk
Okay, so where would you like to pick up now?
where we left off before. So Kim's going to kind of go over what the plan, like we work as a team when it comes to looking for rooms. I'll find a room and be like, Kim, gotta look at this one. Where's this one located on a ship? Because these boats have gotten so big that I might find a perfect room number at a really good price, but where is it located at the ship?
Right. And what I do is when he's looking at those, I will be sitting here. And one of the resources I use religiously is going to be cruisedeckplans.com, because I will go to that page and he'll name a ship. Doesn't matter what the sailing is, he'll name a ship. I go to that. You scroll down to the bottom, you find, let's use, for example, I want to look at Royal Caribbean. Scroll down, you find the Royal Caribbean tab. Click on it, it lists all their ships. And then you want to go into the individual ship. After you've done that, You can then see all the numbers for the decks. Click on the deck you want to see, and you can see the deck plan.
Yeah.
Now, something that we make sure that we do, and I want to mention this now before it becomes a side item, is once we find that deck, maybe right after we look at the cabin, is we look to see what is on the deck above and below it. And you can find all of that right there on that one page.
Mm-hmm.
So you know.
And what's it called again?
cruisedeckplan.com.
Okay. Yeah.
And on that page, you also will, let's say we're going to go look at one of the cabins that we've booked recently, which we have a video up for, which was Wonder of the Seas, which was cabin 12630. And we took a look at it. We made sure that we were not underneath a pool deck.
Next to the elevators.
Right. We weren't too close to the elevators, people coming up, kids running up and down the stairs. It's going to happen. You're not anywhere near the buffet. You're not under the buffet. You're not, above the theater, those kinds of things. If that stuff bothers you, this site will help you with all of that.
I will say one thing.
Yeah.
And we've run into a lot of people that have complained when they were booking their rooms is they didn't realize the pool deck was literally over the top of them, and it does get noisy at the pool deck during the daytime. You got DJs playing out there.
Chairs
you've
dragging
got
around.
bass. And Wonder of the Seas, there's a suite section that's very close to the main pool in the center of the ship. The walls were shaking
up on deck 17, where they have the suite guest. And they have their sweet lounge and
rattling the boat.
The bass was rattling.
So be very mindful. Very.
Sometimes a bougie suite is not the best place, but there are times that it is too. So I'm sure it's very lovely.
And I would recommend, if you have an opportunity, let's say you know that you want to go on a cruise. Let's say this upcoming Thanksgiving, start planning for that now. Because the longer you wait, the less availability you have on rooms. Yeah. So be cautious when you are booking that late in there. You probably will get a better deal, but that room selection could come with blocked view or close to a stairwell or an elevator, and you don't want to be where all that traffic is going by your room. It's going to be very noisy. Now, that being said, mostly our rooms are about midway through the hallways, never where you have a dining room or you have a pool area. So it's quieter. We don't have the noise. I think with Wonder of the Seas, we were just side of the Crown and Anchor sign on the side of the ship.
Yeah, we were on a little bit of the bump out.
Could barely hear the pool deck.
It's about placement.
On 60. Yeah.
And we pick each particular room that we pick or cabin, we pick for a very particular reason. Placement. The one that we were just mentioning for Wonder of the Seas that we just had was
12/6/30.
I just did it too.
She pulled a me. When I got on the ship and I started doing the videos, I, for some reason, kept saying 16/380 or some 360 or something like that. And I'm like, she kept reminding me, no, it's
12/6/30, like dinner time.
12/6/30
to him.
I had the hardest time the first couple days with the room number. I don't know why. It's the only time I've really struggled with the room number.
Well, in that particular cabin, not only is it a junior suite, and it's right below, well, not right below, but you have 2 decks up, is the Windjammer. It's fantastic placement. We're not right under the Windjammer. We're not, but we're close enough.
What's the Windjammer?
That would be the buffet in the back of the ship.
We weren't even close to that. We were more midship. The Windjammer's in the back end of the boat.
We walked up the...
I know, but it was on the back end where the split for the parkway was. That's towards the back. Our room is centrally located on the ship.
No, it was right above the staircase. We walked because it's above. The Windjammer is midship on Wonder of the Seas.
But it splits in 2 sections?
It does.
Oh, well, you know what? Yeah. You are correct. Now that I'm looking back at my memories of the ship. Because it does split in half. Most ships, till you get to that class of ship, have the, what do they call that? Park Avenue and Broadway, or whatever they call that, in the middle. In the middle of the boat, right? That opens up the ship in the middle of it, and most boats do not have that.
That split.
Yeah, the split where you have those interior balconies and exterior type balconies. So I apologize. Yeah, you are correct.
It's okay, because once you started questioning yourself, I started questioning myself, and then we're all off the
Yeah.
rails.
So it's important to look at where you want to be located, what's most important to you. Again, we're not travel agents. We're not trying to push you in one direction or the other. You're free to choose wherever you want to stay on the boat. We opt more for location, what we can get for that location. Like you said, it's not necessarily so much about price sometimes, but we like.
We're going to get the most out of our money.
We're definitely going to get the most out of our money, and I think everybody should get the most out of their money. You're paying good money to go on the ship. Yes. Let it be in the location, and again, try to be mindful. If you wait till the last minute, those rooms are not going to be available.
That's right. And usually the rooms, like interior cabins, regular balconies, those are going to go first.
The prime locations,
and deck location, where you are on the ship. Those are all going to go first.
And if you're not to interrupt you, but if you're questioning the fact that you just can't decide, it's too much for you to take on, because these boats are quite large. The deck plans that we use are very useful in what we do because we're tenured cruisers. Then get a travel agent. Yeah. They can help guide you to what you're looking for, location that you're looking for, and a price point that you want to pay.
If you do take a look at the page, and you happen to be on it, and you want to work with a travel agent, absolutely, by all means. And you know what? But it will make you more educated. You'll know which side of the ship you want to be on. You'll know where on the ship you want to be forward, you want to be back, you want to be midship, you want to be high, you want to be low. At least you will know some of that information. You'll already know what decks to stay away from if you're sensitive to noise. So there's a lot of good things that you can learn from cruise deck plans.
You might be an interior cabin person where you don't want the light. You don't want to pay that extra, cost that's associated with a balcony or a junior suite or above presidential suite. Those can get quite costly. Unfortunately, they're gorgeous.
They're lovely.
We try to stay in the suite range, basically for all of our travel. It's not a her, it's a me. I'm bougie. I like the suite. I like the access on the ship. Priority. I don't like sitting in long lines waiting, like the interior or balcony people. They have a line they have to go through. Our tier level's not at the very top, but it's high enough where it gives us access into the boats a lot quicker than most. Along with that suite that we purchase also gets us better access to the boat a lot sooner, like our last trip to Wonder.
Yeah. That line was lovely. Basically, you have a line, and we were going out of Miami, and it was basically just to the right of the entrance going into the terminal.
Yeah,
super, and it's labeled,
super
and it says
easy.
It says Suites and Pinnacle.
Yeah.
So you get to go through there if you're at a Pinnacle tier, and you get to go through that line if you're a suite guest. And do you want to tell them what our experience was?
Well, our last experience, we went out of Miami on Wonder of the Seas. Obviously, that's where they port from. So we generally will stay in Miami the night before. I suggest to anybody that's traveling to get on a cruise, always get to your destination the day before. Norwegian has just put out a thing where they're making changes with their booking plan for cruise and flight, where they're making it required that you have to fly in a day before because flights are unpredictable. They get canceled. We live in Florida, so for us, we have availability to many different ports in Florida. We have Miami, we have Port Canaveral, we have Tampa, we have Jacksonville. We have that selection. We mainly go out of Miami for the most part.
But being centrally located, we can use all of them.
Yeah.
So, but there's still things that come up. I mean, you can have weather, especially this time of the year.
Yeah, summertime, you're always going to get afternoon thunderstorms, lightning. Heck, the last time we went on Wonder,
we got caught in a hailstorm.
We got caught in a hailstorm in Miami, which was very unusual. But we always leave a day early. I'd make it kind of a plan that we get out of here. We drive down to Miami. It's about just short of a 3-hour drive for us. We're centrally located in Florida. So 3-hour drive, not that big of a deal. No. We get down to Miami. We stay at the Hilton downtown Miami hotel. That's kind of our go-to place. Yeah. I've got a pretty high tier level with Hilton.
And why else do you stay at that particular location?
So
very important.
Right. So there is a package that you get if you're driving. Okay, this doesn't qualify for the people coming in by flight. But for us, since we're driving in there, they have a package for a cruise and park. And you have to look for it. It's not something you can see on the main page. You have to go into additional details within their app to look at those options for you. It is a little bit more as far as like the parking, but it's a lot less than it would be for you to park at the port. The port, I think, is right around $17 to $20, depending on your cruise parking area that you're going into. This isn't bad at the Hilton. Since we drive, we park. They valet park our car, put it in a covered parking garage. Yep. It's good for up to 7 days. We've pushed it to 8, and not been charged extra for that additional day because.
And how far is it from the cruise port?
So the Hilton downtown Miami is about 3 miles from the port, and what they offer with that cruise and park is also a shuttle bus from the hotel to the port, which means you don't have to deal with the craziness of the drivers getting to the port. You get on a nice shuttle. At least they're nice now. They used to be kind of questionable before.
You don't have to get an Uber.
Nope. They will set up your time. They will ask you what time that you would like to get out of the hotel and start driving. We usually get at 10:30 because we have early booking or early boarding for our cruises. Yeah. So we and about, I would say, 8 other people, maybe 10, depending on the shuttle bus that they use.
Comfortably.
Yeah. Air conditioner works at least.
Yeah.
So they'll drive us to the port, take us to the terminals, and usually we go with the group that's going generally to. So if we're going to Royal Caribbean, MSC is right next door. That group will go in one van, and generally they will drop everybody off at Royal. Unless there's more MSC people, then they'll drop you off there, and it's a very short walk over to the
They're
Royal.
They're right next to each other, which makes our back-to-back even easier.
Sure.
Because we're just going to walk from Royal Caribbean right next door to the brand new MSC terminal.
So we're booked to stay at the Hilton again. We got a cruise coming up at the end of August, the back-to-back. So we're going to stay at the Hilton the night before. We'll take that shuttle bus into the port, which I have to tell you takes a lot of stress off of me having to drive into the port, because sometimes it is a nightmare to drive into the port. I don't want to start my vacation off stressed out, in an accident with somebody, because the Uber drivers, the cab drivers, you have a lot of people positioning to try to get into their port lane down there, and that can be horribly bad. Oh, no. So that is a great thing for us, and I've recommended to several people on social media. They've asked, hey, Hilton, we're staying there. How do you set that up? Just go in. If you're a Hilton member, you can obviously, or you can call them, let them know. I do think they do have an option for you to pay for that shuttle service from the hotel to the port. We've never had to do that, so I can't answer to that, but I'm pretty sure they do. You can pay, it might be like $15.
I think it's $15 a person, something like that.
And maybe not that much, but it's well worth it, unless you're renting a car from the airport if you're flying in. And I would park the car at the hotel. Yeah.
It definitely is easier. But here is the one caveat to that. They don't bring you back. They're not going to pick you up when you get off the boat.
Yeah, it's a one-way trip.
So it is a one-way trip.
And let me speak to this one, because there are all sorts of cabbies at the port. So our last Wonder of the Seas, we went and we came out of the Royal, whatever they call that, the port. So it's out the doors, you make a right, there are cabs. We generally take a cab over an Uber because everybody and their mother's trying to get that Uber. So we'll take.
Royal Caribbean has it still very
much
organized,
much better,
even on the departure.
Yeah. But yeah, we take a cab. Generally, it'll be just a hair under $20 to go from port to back to the hotel. But we have seen it where other cab drivers charge you per person fee to get from the port to the hotel. We've been charged 30. We've been charged 35. But you got to make sure that they're actually clicking their device to say that you're in the cab, to track that mileage, and then that upfront charge they get you for that.
Cash.
They want you to pay in cash,
and they're not running the meter. And now this has been our experience on a couple of Carnival cruises coming out of Carnival, and these were the cabs that we experienced. Now, understand that from the cruise port to the hotel
3 miles, 3.5 miles.
3 miles. because the hotel is the Hilton downtown Biscayne Bay.
Yeah, you drive
Yeah,
over the bridge,
it's
take
right
Biscayne
there.
over, and you're right there.
And we booked that because you can see the ships from there.
Sure.
So it is literally a nothing of a drive.
I have one of the rooms that we stayed at because we do enjoy the corner suites in or the corner rooms that they have
Yep.
that look over. You get two walls of glass overview overseeing the port area. Highly recommended for that hotel if you can acquire one of those rooms.
It's a nice hotel,
and they do have a nice pool,
yeah,
and they do
very
have
nice
a restaurant downstairs and a bar.
Yeah, it is a full service,
Yeah.
high rise Hilton, and with a nice covered parking garage, valet, the works.
Yeah.
You know, restaurant. It's not a small one, and you know sometimes you can on off times, not around holidays, but the off times you can get it for a good deal. But we were just trying to make you aware that when you're taking the cabs or the Ubers back, I don't think you're going to have the problem with an Uber, but cabs.
No, once they punch in they punch in, they know what the cost is going to be. Where cabs will try to get you for everything they can, so be cautious. Not all of them. The one we did the last time coming back to the Hilton actually turned the meter on, and we were pleasantly surprised because I'm like, oh, I'm not paying $35. I'm paying just short of $20.
That's right. And he was also coming from picking us up. We were coming out of Royal Caribbean. The whole operation is so much more organized. I think Royal Caribbean would be very upset if they heard that passengers were being picked up in cabs out front and being charged whatever on a whim cash from cab drivers.
I don't think they care.
I'm
just saying, I don't. Transportation's not in their wheelhouse to figure out how you get from point A to point B.
I don't think they want you having a bad experience when you get off. Just like they don't want to have you having a bad experience.
Once you're off the boat, you're not their responsibility.
True,
so.
But they don't want shenanigans going on out front.
Well,
people trying to get you for now it's $35 cash, you know, because they don't want to turn on the meter over at Carnival. No, we're not doing that.
Anyway, getting back on topic instead of going towards the port and how do you get there, focusing back on how we book our trips, right? Okay. I will tell you, if you are a working person, I am, which means I've got a certain level of time that I can take off a year. That does present some struggles when it comes to trying to get the best deal, obviously, for those cruise bookings. But I will tell you, if you look at your calendar map and you have a certain amount of PTO time that is available for the year, try to utilize those when you have holidays falling on a Monday, Friday. That way you don't have to take the time off. You can get on a cruise, depending on where you're coming from. Obviously, the longer distance, you're going to want to take a longer cruise. We like the 7-day and above cruises, but we did enjoy our Wonder of the Seas, the last cruise we did, at a 4 and a 3.
Yeah.
So
enough that we have another one coming up with the back-to-back.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about the point that you were just making about time off.
And we'll cover that cruise in another video. But right today, I think we're just trying to focus more on what we do, how we coordinate our efforts, because it really does take a team to develop that plan first off. Or you get sideswiped and she's like, "Honey, I booked a cruise."
It happens. It happens.
So you do face some of those issues once in a while. I wouldn't call them issues. She really did. Our last Wonder of the Seas, she really scored a really good deal that we could not pass up.
I did.
So that was probably our cheapest cruise for them, and it was a great deal. So
now he did upgrade it. Now, but I still did score a good deal on the initial deal. So
and we got a good deal on the upgrade.
Which the way we were able to do the back-to-back, and we kind of did this. We planned it. We already had the portion I had booked on the books, but we looked at the dates, and this is what he's referring to. We were able to extend it out because it was in the middle of the week. So you had an open weekend and you had an open weekend.
Well, we have Labor Day coming up too, which we had a gap. We would have got back on Friday, and it's like, whoa, maybe we should utilize that weekend and book another cruise.
That's right. But
so
we also got on the front end of it, and we got the weekend prior. So we roll into...
It's 10 days. Yeah, absolutely 10 days.
So it makes it 10 days, but he didn't have to take that much time off of work because we were able to utilize the weekend.
The unexpected cruise.
The unexpected cruise. It happens.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we wanted to present to you today in regards to, if you have any questions, you have anything that you want us to answer questions to, feel free to leave a like and follow and a comment in our feed. We'd be happy to answer your questions on what we do and how we're successful so far with planning our cruises and hopefully that continues. But want to thank you again. You can find Two Lane Life and Cruise Couch on all social media platforms.
Right, that's right. And if you're looking for the longer versions of the videos for the rooms that we're going to be having, because again, we have 12 more here. We have 2 of them up. I think we have 3 of them up. You can go to the YouTube channel under Cruise Couch and you will find them listed.
Yeah,
and
we have a couple, and we're working. We're working to get better. Obviously, it's a first startup for us to actually present this information and actually go live with some of the knowledge that we have from cruising throughout the years. And
we find ourselves talking about this with a lot of people anyway, and they ask us all these questions. So we just generally, it was just second nature to roll into providing it to people because
any questions about cruises,
we have questions, you have questions, right?
Location in the Miami area, if you're coming to Miami for that stuff or any other part, we'd be happy to help you out. Again, we're not travel agents,
but we do live here,
but we do live in Florida, and we do know our way around the best deals that you can get on certain things. Obviously, if you would please like and follow us, and we'll have more content coming out in the future.
Thank you.
Okay.